Hey Scrappy friends, welcome back to my channel. Helen here. I'm so happy I've got a dress with pockets. Oh my gosh, it's delightful having a dress with pockets. Anyway, I digress. Thank you for joining me today. Today's layout, I am scrapping the photos of our trip to Pisa because of the train cancellations on the 5th of November. Basically, we were going to do a half and a bit of a day in Florence, train to Pisa, Pisa Tower, train back to Rome. Because of the train delays, by the time we did what we wanted to do, Florence, and then train delay from Florence to Pisa, as well as the big delay actually getting to Florence in the first place. By the time we got to Pisa, Pisa was closed. And then we got there just before our train was due out, and we still ended up sat around for 2 hours. We didn't get back to Rome till gone 1 a.m. because of the train delays. Anyway, so the photos from Pisa is a selfie outside the station and the fountain outside the station. We had a lot of fun, and yeah, we had a lovely evening, except for the whole sat on a platform waiting for a train for 2 hours. But we had fun, we kept each other entertained. Anyway, I'm going to use Love Is Kind because that's basically the collection that's out on my desk, and I'm far too worn to be faffing about tidying it up. So before we get to that though, if you're not already a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what you've enjoyed. I'm not sure what to say, pop an emoji for the sake of engagement. I am using a sketch from 30 Days Sketches. It is day 14 sketch from... let me get the sketch. Alison McIntyre at Ali Space to Craft. I think that's her Instagram handle. So we're using that sketch. Let's get scrapping. Okay, so we're starting off with 5" by 3.5" photos. I printed these before I knew what I was doing, before I picked a sketch. So they are larger than what they are in the sketch, and I do end up stopping the video and going and reprinting them just to, make me happy. So cutting the pattern paper here, there's this strip along the bottom, and then there's a piece, sort of like wavy pieces at the top. So I'll cut the branding strip off the yellow to begin with. So I've got my strip for the bottom and the bits cut wavy at the top. I'm just going to take the branding strip off my main piece. This is the ledger, one of the ledgers from the collection called Side by Side. Okay, so I'll pop that one down there. Then get the scissors out and create my waves. So instead of cutting the branding strip off this, I just go for it. I do turn the paper as well as the scissors, and it just gives me a smoother curve when I am cutting those curves in. And I do change, there you go, the blue one slightly so it does go up under the yellow. So I think it's this point where I go away, reprint the photos smaller, and I think that just goes so much better in the space. The sketch has portrait photos. I've used landscape just because that's the photos I have that I wanted to scrap. You can see there's the 4 of us outside Pisa station, and then it's a picture of the fountain outside the station. Go through the banners, a little packet of banners. Love this pack, and just using a few of those. It's the same banner in several sizes. I think it's 3 sizes, a large, medium and small. I think it's about 5 designs. I can't remember how many designs there are. But then getting this rick rack out of the borders piece. I love a bit of rick rack. So yeah, when we got to Pisa, everything except the McDonald's in the station was closed. So we went to McDonald's for tea. And so a couple of years ago, my sister went to Florence with her husband. They had McWine, so the McDonald's there served wine. And my sister was like, "Oh, they do, McDonald's in Italy, they do wine." And we got to this McDonald's in the station at Pisa, and they didn't do wine. They did beer, so the lads had McBeer, and me and my sister had Diet Coke. So yeah, so after the McDonald's, we still had time to wait for the train with the delays, and so we had a little walk. There was a little off-license, little convenience store opposite station open, so we went and bought a couple of things for taking back to the hotel, and then we found like a little cafe, and it turned out it's a cafe where like the drivers went to have food on their breaks. So there's a few drivers in there, and he was quite happy to serve us wine without any drinks. We didn't want to eat because we just had the McDonald's when we found it, so we just sat there with a couple of glasses of wine. My sister had a beer, um, and me and my sister had white, and my brother-in-law had red. He drinks red wine. I drink white when I'm with my sister because she prefers white, and it's just, yeah, we share we share a bottle usually. So yeah, and then we wandered back to the station from when we thought the train was finally going to be, and then it was delayed again, and we just sit on the in the um bit, oh, what do you call it, reception, the first bit, the lobby, when you first get into the station where the ticket office is. We sat in there for a bit, and then we went over to the platform, and it was 1 a.m. before we got back to Rome. It was quite an adventure. So yeah, cheers to us. I thought was quite fitting, considering that we ended up in a little cafe having wine, and I said the lads had McBeer with their McDonald's tea. But yeah, so cheers to us. I thought was quite a nice title out of those title pack that's it with the collection. So just going through my embellishments now. This one I've put into a Avriel pocket is the pack that's just the general die cuts. I'm just taking stars out of that, and then I've got the stars die cut pack, and then I also grab the stars stickers as well. You'll notice as well, I did my journaling on camera. Don't use your journal until after I finish recording. I did that because of where the embellishment's going to go. I need to know where the journaling was to fit the embellishments around the journaling. Um, and to be honest with you, I wish I hadn't brought it so far over now. Having said that, I'm really delighted with how this does turn out. I can't remember if I've mentioned, but with this being part of 30 Days Sketches, there is a playlist in the description box for you to go check out 30 Days Sketches. And I know I did tell you it's a pretty little studio because I couldn't bother tidying up. It is about to be tidied up and put in the tote to take to Cornwall, not Cornwall, take to Scotland with us. Um, so just sticking these stars down now. I start by thinking, no, I'll stick them to each other, and then as I'm sticking them to each other, glue will go over and end up on the back. um, Stars end up being moved about instead by accident, so I just kind of go for it and just stick them. I end up adding more stars to that cluster because things have accidentally moved from where I liked them originally. And then I'm just adding more stars going up towards the title. So a mix of the stars from the general embellishment pack, from the stars pack, and then some of the stickers. So after I've done that, oh, here we go, yeah, that banner keeps coming up. After I've done that, I decide that I want to change the banner. So the banner's got like strawberries and flowers. So I decide I want to change it to be the stars. So I do use the stars and the die cuts, the stickers and the die cuts to layer up over them, which then means because I've used stickers, I need it to not be 3D foam up off the back. So I pull it up and pull the 3D foam up and then just stick it down. So then the stickers are connected with the paper instead of being folded back when I eventually get it in an album. There we go. So just layering those stars up as a cluster on top of there. And I do that on each end of the two banners. I wasn't going to do it on the bottom banner to begin with, but then I decided I needed more stars down that bottom corner from my stars tumbling down the page. So I do end up putting them on, there we go, on the banner at the bottom. It's not many, it's only a couple, just to cover up. I think there's a bird and something else there. But we are almost done. Thanks so much for watching. See you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.